Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Let's turn the music up a bit. All right. We back, folks. We are back, folks. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? All right. Here we go.
Hello, MagicMayson. Glad to be here. Sorry, I wasn't fully ready. Thanks for having me on, though. Appreciate you. People may know me from either potentially my stream, MagicMayson stream, or occasionally on the Play Pokemon streams as well, competing. So glad to be here, though.
All right. So y'all heard it. We got MagicMayson on the show. So yes, we got a lot to talk about. But first, I gotta do my intro real quick. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. It's your boy Tru Inferno. Today's date is Sunday, February the 25th, and as you heard, we got MagicMayson on the call. Yes, we got a special guest. We are talking to a regional PvP champion. He won it at Toronto's. What year was that? Was that this past season or
it was,
current
season? But actually in the year of 2022 December. But it was for the last year's season.
Okay, nice. Okay, so we got a lot to talk about. Obviously, we've got some PvP stuff to talk about. Gold Tour Sinnoh is wrapping up. The global version wrapping up. We also got the Los Angeles Pasadena event that I was at last week, and so much more to talk about. So let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. So we're gonna start things off with the event that just concluded for me and for the majority of those in the world, and that is the Gold Tour Sinnoh event, the global version that is. So let's switch on down here. So we're gonna start things off with this. So we're gonna talk about the good, we're gonna talk about the bad. Did you get all the shinies you want? Did you get everything that you want? So we're gonna start off with MagicMayson. So Mason, how was your Gold Tour Sinnoh global event? How did it go for you?
It went really, really good. Because one of the things that I really wanted to take advantage of was hitting up a bunch of my locals who don't PvP actually, and I was targeting a chance at maybe their Great League Giratina origin, as it could be pretty strong, and I was able to get a pretty good ranked one that hits 1500 CP exactly, so that's pretty awesome. I got a lot of the shinies I wanted, such as the Growlithe, the Sneasel, and I wanted the Electrode. I didn't get that, but I got another one that I liked a lot. Oh, the Quillfish. So I was happy about those. Didn't get anything great from the raids. Got a shiny Dialga Origin, but nothing IV wise that was even usable for Master League. So that's the only unfortunate thing I think I had for my event.
Oh, okay, nice. Okay, so obviously you went in this with the mindset of like building up your squad and trying to help the local community from a PvP aspect. That's what I'm hearing, correct?
I mean, yeah, if anybody, I was like trying to offer them what they wanted. I was more focused on, this may sound a little bit selfish, but getting a good one for myself. But if anybody, I think some other people were setting up trades as well for their Giratinas. So, but the people who aren't focused on PvP, and I was just more so looking to try to snag their Giratinas to give myself more chances at getting a good one for Great League.
Okay, nice. So wait a minute. So Giratina could go below 1500?
They had that timed research, the Road to Sinnoh Tour, where they gave a Cresselia, Darkrai, Giratina, and Heatran, which were all lower than like the normal raid, like the level 15. And they give it to you, it comes in around like 1500. And you can trade for it with like a low friendship friend to get below 1500 now, and it's supposedly pretty good because it outside of like leaking the meta, and it handles a lot of the meta that's we're currently seeing in the Great League.
Wow. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm looking at mine. I got a 1572, which is a 96.
Yeah, so it's pretty good. Well, so, I mean, in terms,
yeah. So, yeah. Let's see. Trainer Spooky, what's up? They inserted to live stream. Blue, what's up? They inserted to live stream. So, outside from, well, we can talk about this around. How many shinies did you get overall this weekend from the event?
Overall this weekend, I took a screenshot, and I was taking screenshots, and I had to take 2 screenshots. So I think it was let me see. I can pull it up right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So about 8. Actually, I'm about 18 shinies. So, a lot of them didn't seem like I was too worried about getting shinies for certain things. Like I said, I wanted the Quillfish and the Sneasel primarily. I got both Pikachus, which is pretty cool. And I ended up with like 3 Stunkies, but I heard that they were actually boosted, so that makes sense. But yeah, I got the majority of the ones I wanted. Didn't seem like there was anything too special. It was random. I hatched an egg at the beginning of the event, and it had nothing related to do with this event, but it had a shiny Munchlax in it, so that was pretty cool.
Oh wow, okay. Actually, yeah, Munchlax was a part of the event actually. But okay, so the thing about it is, it was also part of the event, but at the same time, it was also part of the Road to a Sinnoh event. So for some strange reason, throughout this entire week, going into this weekend, you could get nothing but 2-kilometer eggs, or at least that was the case for me anyway. And I was hatching a lot of eggs all week while I was in California.
Right, it does say
so
I got the egg. I hatched yesterday, but I got the egg on Tuesday. So it was.
Oh wow, okay, yeah.
Sinnoh, so that's where I got my shiny Munchlax from.
Okay, nice. All right, so of course I can't talk about my experience because I got a video coming out tomorrow. So what I will say is this: I did better yesterday than I did today. That's all I'm gonna say about my experience. But what I will also say is that let me ask you some in that chat. Y'all can chime in as well. Speaking of which, Blue Blur, let me see what you say. You end up with 21 shinies, 5 on the first day and 16 today. Yeah, I know you had it rough yesterday, so I'm glad you picked up today. So that's what's up. So
I was gonna say
go ahead.
Maybe because it was actually where I'm located, it was actually snowing crazily enough yesterday and today some, but a lot worse yesterday. So I ended up, I think, raiding a lot more yesterday, and like just driving from raid to raid in my car and then catching Pokemon there, and like doing remote raids. It was a little bit warmer today, so I think I got out on that. I definitely got a lot more shinies today, but I think it's just a little bit of a testament, like getting out and going to play, actually going walking around and just, getting your boots on the ground, whatever the saying may be, actually can like increase the amount of shinies you end up with.
Okay, nice. Yeah. It was. I think it was cold all throughout the U.S. yesterday, and I'm trying to remember. Are you U.S. based or Canada based?
Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh area.
Okay. Oh yeah. You East Coast, yeah. You up there, Northeast, yeah. So yeah, I feel like it was colder yesterday than today throughout the U.S. So yeah, that makes sense. Cause it was windy for me. I didn't get any snow, thank goodness. But I'm in Detroit, but it was windy for me. So yeah, there's that. So concerns about the event. I understand that it was free to play. Like there was no tickets that you had to buy outside of the shaman thing, which is somewhat related. But what I have noticed is this, that not a lot of people got shiny unknowns. And I'll probably go a step further to say that not a lot of people got shinies from their regular instance. Not a lot of people got shinies from raids. And not a lot of people hatch shinies. Would you agree with me when I say that or no?
Yeah, now that you say that, I don't remember getting many shinies from the incense, no unknowns. Yeah, nothing like special. I know the one thing I thought was the worst, in my opinion, was the field research, where it was just making you power things up and wasting dust, even if you had nothing planned to power up. And so I just thought that was a little bit like, a waste of a Stardust in certain situations, and just like then I don't know. There was nothing exciting from the field research as well. It was just more things that you were already getting spawned on the map. So that felt like a little bit of a pointless thing to have, and I didn't get any. I was actually doing a decent amount, and I wasn't getting any shinies from those either. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just focus on clicking on things on the map and not even worry about the field research.
Oh wow, okay, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, a lot of that field research did involve you powering up, and actually, I know I said the shaman research wasn't exactly involved, but there was some quest that involved you to power up some Pokemon. I think there was one where you had to power up something 10 times, something like that. And there was a few of those like that as well, which was annoying. I will agree on that one. It was cold here in the yeah, exactly. Yeah, Blue, was cold in Detroit yesterday. Yeah, exactly. So there was that issue. And also, was the game buggy for you all weekend long?
Honestly, I don't remember any bugs outside of, there was one raid I did, and it lagged, like kicked me out or lagged out, and the timer was expired by the time I had to refresh the game. So I didn't get a chance to catch it.
Ouch.
A good thing it was like a old form Palkia or something stupid, so like I didn't care that much about it, but it was like frustrating that the game was like having an issue there. But outside of that, I don't remember any issues, so maybe I got a little bit lucky, but yeah, I don't remember too many issues.
Okay, so here's what happened with me. Like I would see like a pink background when I was either checking Pokemon or hatching eggs. I forgot which scenario it was that I was doing. But there was scenarios where I seen like pink backgrounds. I seen static when I want to say going through not field research, but special research. I think that was happening as well. Yeah, exactly. The game was sluggy. Yeah, it was sluggy for me as well. It crashed on me, I want to say 2 or 3 times all weekend long, which isn't much, but it still happened nevertheless. So yeah, that's some of the things that I noticed. Blue said my game was sluggish and it crashed a few times for you yesterday. Yeah, see, something like that. Yeah. Were you lucky enough to get a shiny bright stripe Basculin? So yeah, that's interesting.
What's funny? I guess I just read something somewhere that I was doing a little bit of party play, but Basculin was maybe associated with party play. So I don't remember catching too many of them, but no, I didn't get a shiny one. I didn't know. I actually didn't know it was rare or anything. So that was maybe me not hunting it because I'm clueless in that aspect.
Oh, okay. So yeah, let me break it down real quick. It was actually routes. It was actually involving routes. So when you do the routes, they were spawning.
Okay.
And you didn't even have to complete the route. You could just stay on that same route and they would still spawn and you could get a shiny like that.
I didn't do so. It's funny. I did like 2 routes too. I was being like real lazy with that kind of stuff. So maybe that's why I didn't end up seeing a lot. That's why I need to start doing a better job of like researching the events before they happen. Cause I learn about stuff while I'm doing the event or like after. And then if I had known about it going in ahead of time, like I could maybe been more prepared to like target certain things that I wanted to target.
Right. Yeah, or keep it locked on my channel. Cause yeah, I normally go over everything before these events. Gives out tips and tricks before these events started. So yeah, that's another resource you use right there. But getting back to the field research, let me see what we got here. Bustling Boardwalk. Power up normal or water type Pokemon 5 times. And you can get Bidoof or the blue or pink Celios. Which they got both of those got some play in the meta, I believe. Am I correct in saying that?
Maybe not much of like the Open Great League meta, just because the Mud Slap is just too fast move dependent.
Oh, okay. All right. Moving on to the Ancient Grove habitat. Power up grass or ghost type Pokemon 5 times to get the Hisuian Voltorb. Or you can get the Hisuian Growlithe. And then everything else is win 3 raids to get some other Pokemon that's obviously not PvP. Well, is Ursaluna PvP relevant or no?
A little. I think it could have been better with if it had a different moveset, but I think they gave it a pretty bad moveset with like not having Mudshot, so it's not as good. But in theory, it has really good coverage with like it has Ice Punch for like dragons, and it has obviously Earthquake for Dialga and other steel types that you find in Master League. I didn't get that field research at all, but I'm realizing it says something about the space-time anomaly. And I didn't do that with the Dialga. I only did the other one with Palkia because that's the one I picked. So that's why I never saw that research. But once again, hear me being clueless about what's going on.
Well, okay. So the thing about the field research, like before I went out yesterday, I only saw one that was definitely happening this weekend. Everything else was updated as the event went on. So I had no clue what they were either. So that was like the only thing. But yeah, the win 3 raids, you can get the Braviary, the Cleavor, the Avalugg, or Ursaluna. Those are the 4. And then let's see, Toxic Digs, power up Pokemon, Poison Rock type 5 times. You can either get Stunky or Gibble. Obviously, Gibble is useful, but still though, you still got power up Pokemon. And that was under the Toxic Digs. And then the Geothermal Lagoon, power Pokemon, power up I can't talk. Fire or Ice type 5 times. You get Sneasel, and Hisuian Quillfish. And the win 3 raids things were there as well with the same rewards. So yeah, there was The field research task in terms of what they want you to do was kind of lame. I'll be honest, and the rewards were kind of not there either. I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah. It was all like the same thing, powering
yeah.
up the same thing, and then you were just, like I said, getting the same Pokemon that were already on the map. So I mean, obviously, if you were like shooting for hundos, and like because the research gives you higher, stats, like sure, but most of these I'm looking for PvP IVs anyways, and like I said, I wasn't getting, I don't think I got a single shiny from the field research, so I was getting more shinies from the map as well too. So like there was honestly nothing to like really incentivize me to do the field research. I guess Growlithe, that would be like a cool hundo, the Arcanine, the Hussein Arcanine. I know like Fraggin was talking about getting that, but that's more of like a Spice Master League pick. You're never going to use it as like an actual one anyways, so
Right. Yeah. Let's see. Blue said his only gripe with the research is the fact that they were forcing us to use starters to get encounters. Yeah, exactly. And Gamerite, what's up? Thank you for showing up to the live stream. That's a random question, but yeah, everybody's good, Gamerite. We just wrapping up the Go Tour Sinnoh event. I believe out in the Pacific time zone, they got 30 minutes left. And of course, Alaska and Hawaii, they're still doing their thing with the event as well. So yeah, we just wrapping it up, talking about the global version of the Go Tour Sinnoh event. So that's what's going on. And again, we got MagicMayson, PvP extraordinaire, talking about this and so many other topics. So yeah. So chat, let me ask you guys this question. For those of you who are here, how many shinies did you get this weekend at the global event, the Go Tour Sinnoh global event? That's my question for you guys. And as I wait for that to answer, Mason, any other thoughts about the global event?
No, you know what? Like you said, it was a free event, so I think, I didn't have too many gripes with it. It was nice. Like I said, I got back out with the community. I didn't like the idea, like you weren't fully aware of it, but like the fact that they released this Giratina and how inaccessible it was for people trying to target Master League. I mean, for a Great League and to play Pokemon format, it being pretty good. I'm glad I was able to get a decent one. But I wish there was just when Pokemon are good in a certain meta, I just want it to be more accessible so everybody can compete on the same level and not have to worry about whether they have a certain Pokemon or not.
Okay, nice. Let me see. Oh, and also I'm about to get off topic for a little bit. I'm not sure you're watching my stream right now, but I got a Shadow Ursaluna.
Yeah, I actually did. I did
1500 CP.
The topics.
Okay. Yeah, and you see those stats. What do you think about this Ursaluna?
That's pretty nice, honestly. I think that'd be beautiful in like some kind of off meta, like a Sylph meta. I guess not Sylph anymore, but like that's a style meta where it's like surprising, like because like I said, I think it has at least Ice and Fire Punch, which can definitely give it a lot of coverage, and it gets to him pretty quickly, so it could definitely be a really cool pick.
Yeah, you're just saying that its quick attack moves was the downfall.
Yeah.
Was that?
Yeah, I think they're thinking it might come a mud shot at one point, but it didn't. So that was like unfortunate. Oh, I did get from a balloon randomly. Like it was not even during the event. It was like this morning. I got a rank like 11 Shadow Wish Cash, which was pretty cool.
Oh wow, nice. Okay. So yeah, here's all the moves for it. Yeah, high horsepower, Fire Punch, Thunder Punch, Aerial Ace, Ice Punch, and Trailblaze.
Yeah, it has tons of coverage, just no good fast move.
Yeah, it only had Rock Smash and Tackle, so yeah, it need that Mud Slap.
At least they got Stab on the Tackle, being normal ground, but Tackle is just still not that great.
Okay. Hey, Brandy, what's up? Thanks for the live stream. Brandy, the question is, how many shinies did you get this weekend during the Go Tour Sinnoh event? The global version, that is. All right. So while I'm waiting on chat to respond to that question, I want to switch it up to another topic, and that would be the one that happened this past weekend, and that would be the LA version. So Mason, I know you didn't go. You said you wasn't going, but I guess this topic is like more towards myself, and I guess you can react to it however you see fit. So, and actually, the one good thing about global in comparison to the in-person event, there was not that much stuff to do. There was no screenshots or snapshots for you to do to make Pokemon appear, anything like that. You didn't have to capture a certain number of Pokemon per habitat. anything like that. Whereas in LA, there was so much
So
stuff
in
to do. It
Vegas,
was
yeah,
ridiculous.
Vegas
It
last
was
year was
ridiculous.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And actually, yeah, it was like that last year. Yeah, well, with the global version, but this year they toned it down. Cause actually, now I think about it, was there a paid ticket for the global one last year, or was that free
I
as
think
well?
it
I don't
was
remember.
paid, and if you went to the because I went to Vegas, I got it for free automatically. But if you weren't in the live event, you had to pay for it. I think.
Okay, 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 okay. I know you had to pay for the special research. Maybe that was included last year. I don't remember off the top. I went to the Vegas
Yeah,
one
I
as
remember. I
well,
think that's one
so
of the first times we may have
I
talked,
don't
or at
remember.
least we. At least that was maybe. I don't know if it was the first time, but like one of the first times we had a good conversation.
Right. Well, I remember the first time we talked. We'll get to
Okay.
that in a few minutes. I remember the first time we talked. So, anywho, but back to the event last week in LA. So the event was good. What I would say is this: I firmly believe that for anybody going to an in-person event, to stay away from the park if you want to like get the most amount of shinies you can, which is weird to say, but I truly believe that because I felt like I did not do good at the event last week, even though I had lots of fun meeting, everybody again. But I felt like when it comes down to getting shinies and getting the shinies that I wanted, I was not even close to accomplishing my goal because I was at the quote unquote park the entire time, with the exception of the second day where we left and we had like I think an hour in the city. But yeah, I would probably say like if you go to any of these in-person events, try your hardest to stay away from the park, which is hard for me because it was at the Rose Bowl. So Mason, I'm not sure how much of a sports fan you are. Are you a sports fan by any chance?
Pretty big sports fan, so yeah.
Okay. So you got the stream open. So you see my shirt. So with Michigan winning at the Rose Bowl against Alabama in the semifinals before winning the national championship, that's the shirt. I was emotional at the stadium. I was pretty much like an emotional trip at the stadium. And I really wanted, and then, hashtag sponsor, hashtag Niantic. We were hooked up with a suite inside the Rose Bowl. So we were hanging out in there as well. So yeah, it was fun. And I really wanted to stay there for as long as I could. But in terms of the gameplay, it's not ideal. And they didn't do this in Vegas because everything was at the park. But ever since then, when they had give you the option to either play at the park or in the city, you went to city. I feel
because I think it did happen in Vegas because they had a mistake with the park or something was going on, so they released it the whole citywide thing. And when we were playing in the city, I was like you said, it felt just so much better. Like I was getting a lot more shinies, no connection issues, being in a random park, nothing like that. It was a lot better. I feel like.
Right. So yeah. So what happened in Vegas was that first day there were so many people there, and they didn't even have a ticket, but they were still there. And with all that cell service, yeah, like everybody gameplay was messed up for like the first 2 or 3 hours in Vegas on that first day. So yeah, that's what happened there. But I think ever since then, they did the whole park experience and the city experience with Go Fest last year in New York. We're really in all 3 Go Fests.
Oh yeah. Because
yeah,
Osaka was like that. Yeah.
Yes. Oh God. Okay, why since you brought that up, did you like the park that they chose for Osaka?
No, not really. Not really at all. Actually, I enjoyed the I enjoyed the out of the park experience so much better. Honestly, it was the park was pretty terrible to be honest.
Yeah. I think like pretty much everybody who went felt the same way. That park was so out the way from downtown Osaka, the heart of Osaka, which was phenomenal to play and to sightsee and all that jazz. But yeah, that park was terrible. And it was so hot, there wasn't a lot of shade there either, which is
an issue. And then just like there was like, I literally when we first went to the out of the park experience, I thought that was like I was like, this has to be part of the event because there were so many stops and so much stuff going on. It was like I said, you didn't even need to even go in the park. Honestly, I guess there was certain research you actually had to do in the park, but outside of that, like the out of the park experience was just so good that it honestly was not even needed to go inside.
Right. So yeah, a lot to cover there. The lack of a shade at the park. It was like that going back to Go Fest 2019 in Yokohama. Even though I didn't go to the actual event, because one, I didn't have a ticket, and two, the first day of Go Fest 2019, I was on a plane going to Japan, and I was hanging out with the quote unquote Go Squad at the time. They didn't really go back to the park after the first day, so that told me a lot there. And then in terms of like all the Pokestops, that's just Japan. Like Japan always have a bunch of Pokestops all over the place, but I felt like they did add it a little bit more because of the event, and they added more spawns because of that Go Fest Osaka event. But yeah, in terms of the amount of Pokestops, yeah, Japan have always been like that. It's crazy out there. Let's see. Yeah, Brandy with 41 total shinies. Okay, which is Brandy, you almost matched me actually. I'm not gonna give the exact number, but you almost matched me. All right, so I believe I'm gonna cover it because if I would go any more further about the LA joint, it would be all about me since I'm the only one who went. So let's change topics. And although ironically enough, go ahead.
Was it easier to get Pachirisus there? Just because I saw John Kelly, who's like one of my team. I didn't ask him, but he posted like 8 shiny Patchies, and like I'm guessing like maybe Pachirisu was generally easier to get the in-person event.
I did not get a shiny Pachirisu at all. The only shiny regional I got was Carnivine.
Only, or were there other ways to get them there?
Yeah, they were eggs. They were, to be more specific, they were 10K eggs only.
I thought maybe in the in-person event it might have been different, but it's the same, I guess.
Yeah, but they were in 10K eggs only. So I didn't get any shiny Pachirisu, so I had to trade for that one at some point. But all right, so. It's ironic that I said I want to take the topic off that LA Pasadena one since it was mostly about me, but yet we moving on to the rest of the Cali trip. So, for those of you who don't know, I actually spent a week out in Cali. Your shiny patch is your only shiny hatch. Oh wow, okay. Yeah, see, that's crazy. So, I got there Thursday, hung out with a bunch of people Thursday and Friday, and obviously Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday. I went to Long Beach with a Phasmophobia streamer who was a good friend of mine, and we went to the aquarium, got some ramen, and then Tuesday I left LA and went to San Francisco because I always wanted to go to San Francisco, and I had a friend there that I want to hang out with, but she got sick, so she didn't come out last second. But nevertheless, that Golden Gate Bridge is crazy. Really nice to look at. Japantown was really dope as well, and yeah, San Francisco, it got their ups and downs because there's a lot of homeless people out there. And it's, oh my gosh. I remember I'm walking from breakfast back to the hotel, and I looked to my left, and at the corner, I saw like a giant pile of turds. And these were not dog turds. I was like, what is going on here? So yeah, like there's some people who talk bad about San Francisco outside from it being expensive as heck. But yeah, I can actually see it. I can actually see that. But nevertheless, I would still say, just for sightseeing purposes, just to spend a weekend up there, if you ever going to Cali. But outside of that, don't like one-time trip. That's it, and keep it moving. Don't go back. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But yeah, your thoughts about San Francisco? Have you been or anything like that?
I've actually ever been to California myself. Was not the same situation, but I flew out there to John Kelly's house, and we drove to Vegas last year for the Go Tour. So I actually didn't really get to sightsee in California at all. So I can't speak up on California too much. I do have some family that lived in San Diego, and they always loved it and said it was beautiful weather all the time and a beautiful place to be. But that's all I can pretty much say on the state of California.
Oh wow! So I'm not sure you heard, but San Diego, they got TwitchCon back this year, and for the next 4 years, I believe. Are you planning to go to TwitchCon this year or no?
You said it's in there for San Diego for the next 4 years. Maybe not this year because I didn't plan it, but I might want to go one of the next couple of years just because like you said, like I haven't ever been to California, and like I don't have any family out there now, but they've always loved it, so definitely a place I want to go see, and would definitely make it make sense to add TwitchCon in the plans at the same time if I'm going to go out there.
Right. Let's see. Did you see the street that was similar to the opening of City Escape? Blue, I'll be honest, I have no clue what that is, so I'm gonna have to say I don't know. I don't know about that one. All right, so let's move on to the next topic. And that's thoughts on PvP. So, for those who don't know, and obviously I'm gonna refresh Mason's memory as well. We actually met in person at internationals in crappy Columbus, Ohio, back in 2022.
Yeah.
Or 22. Yes. So yeah. I heard that it was in Columbus. I'm like, oh, that's kind of a decent drive for me. Oh, let me explain this real quick. To drive from Detroit to Columbus is annoying as heck. First of all, they have no highways. They literally have no highways, no freeways or anything like that. So when you get into Ohio, you're on the freeway, and then you got to get off the freeway, drive on the open road to get on the freeway, and then you got to get off the freeway again to drive through neighborhoods to make it to Columbus. It was ridiculous. So there's that. And Blue, have you ever been to Columbus? You tell the K-Dubs, he'll say the same thing. Brandon, he'll say the same thing. So K-Dubs, he lives in Columbus or near it, but yeah, he's an Ohio State fan, but whatever. But the opening level of Sonic Adventure 2, you had to go Sonic Quest in there. Oh, okay. If that's the case, then I might have seen it then. It's not even mentioned that, I might have seen it then. But anywho, so went to Columbus, and not to mention, dang, I forgot her name. I've been talking to her in a good minute. I got her face in my mind, but I forgot her name though. Oh shoot, I forgot her name. She used to. I'm not sure if she still lived down there, but yeah, she was down there as well. So I'm like, yeah, that's two reasons to go and hang out at internationals, and that's where we met for the first time. And we're more likely you were competing at internationals. Yeah,
I remember that now that you say that.
But and then we went out to some bars. The basketball thing happened, and yeah, I will admit Columbus was fun though. I ain't gonna lie, Columbus was fun. And the funny thing was, you drove for Ohio, didn't drive for Columbus though. Oh, okay. The funny thing was, I think it was Sunday night. We was at that bar where we had like pizza and stuff, and we was outside in the backyard. I'm not sure you remember that, but nearby was actually Ohio State University. And my Airbnb was near campus, so I had to cut through that campus to get to my Airbnb, and I took a bike. And I will admit, like, even though the rivalries there, Michigan, Ohio State, the campus was actually nice though at night. Yeah, like, it was really, really nice. I will be honest though. So yeah, Blue, that's a shocker. Yeah, they really do have a nice campus. Obviously, Michigan better, but yeah. But anywho, so yeah, that's how me and MagicMayson met in person. Then we seen each other at Worlds, obviously 23, and I believe you was at Fort Wayne, Indiana regionals, correct?
Too. Yeah, we did an interview or something, a spot on an interview.
Yes. But okay, so there's that. So that's all the times that we met, and then we probably met in Vegas for the Holy Tour as well. Yeah. Okay, so now let's switch it up a bit. I'm gonna give you like the open mic here. Any thoughts or comments at all that you have on PvP or anything like that?
Honestly, I mean, I love PvP. It's the thing that keeps me going in this game. I played this game obviously since the beginning, but then after enough time of just continuously collecting, I was getting past the generations that I knew and played the main series of, because I only played like the first 4 or 5 generation games. So I was getting a little bit unfamiliar with the Pokemon. And then just like I said, PvP sparked the game for me. It just something to like drive for, because like once you hit level 50 or you've done enough raids and just all like I can't just be someone who continuously goes out and keeps catching more Pokemon over and over and over again, even if it's something I already have gotten. So I really focus on PvP, and I think it's just an incredible aspect of the game that's been added. And I think it's just such a dynamic play style, because you look at the other games in terms of either TCG or VGC, it's which they're both very complicated and really good games, but they're a lot slower paced. And I just feel like Pokemon Go is just like the way the battling system is. It's just like so fast paced and just like constantly damage being done on both ends of the battle. You have maybe the small breaks of charge moves, but even those go by pretty quickly. And it's just such a fun game because just how fast paced it is, in my opinion, and just especially at the highest level with both competitors being forced to think at such a quick pace. It just, you have to be on top of your game. So when especially if you understand the game and everything that's going on in each one of the battles and those decisions that the battlers are making, you're just able to like really just get a really a good understanding and appreciation for it in the long run.
Okay, nice. Yeah, actually, now that you think about it, yeah, it is more fast paced than everything else that Pokemon has to offer on a competitive level. Like the only league or category that could compete with that in terms of that fast pace is Unite, which I have played Unite, but I haven't played at a competitive level or anything like that. But yeah, that's like the only one. But yeah, like you are correct. Yeah, it's more fast paced than oh yeah, that Pokken. Yeah, it's like a cross-up Pokemon Tekken, and I think I still have that game. I don't remember, but so with Pokken, thinking about it, it's a fighting game. So you play Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, especially Tekken. I mean, that's Pokken pretty much, but with Pokemon. So that would be in between in terms of the fast pace and slow pace. That would be more in between.
Yeah, I wasn't really familiar with it. I just thought it was like a more fast paced fighting game, so I just assumed.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, like you can always back up and block, so that's why it varies. It depends on the person playing. Gotcha. So there's that, yeah. But I have to think about it. Like even the TCG that you mentioned, like it involves you to think and plan your move while your opponent rates and see what you have to do. So yeah. There's some pacing elements to all of these categories that are going on right now and used to go on as well. So yeah, that is a good point. So my question is this. The one thing that I always want to see, there's actually two things I want to see when it comes to competitive play in PvP, and they are the following. I want to see teams, and I want to see them use other leagues besides Great League, like Master League and Ultra League. What are your thoughts about those things that I just brought up?
I definitely don't. I don't think I ever want to see Master League just because, like it's a 100% requirement where you need XL and level 50 Pokemon. So I feel like Pokemon Go, it's already hard to have a large player base, because to even get something like a Lickitung, you have to be playing the game for so long, and the accessibility issue is just like, barrier to entry is so high. Like you have to get to level 30, probably play the game for a month or longer, depending on how casual you are, before you can even start collecting PvP Pokemon and get them ready to battle. So to then make it where they need 6 Pokemon that they needed to probably raid for good IVs, and then raid for all the candies would just be, I feel like, unfeasible for Master League ever to show up. I wouldn't fully be against Ultra League, but I always thought it would be cool for them to do more bans in general, and just like maybe ban something like a Lickitung, or you don't need to, I guess, with Metacham anymore, but back when Metacham was on every team, just more restrictions, and that would maybe open up the meta a little bit more. We would see a lot more variety and stuff like that. But I don't think expanding out a Great League is really necessary, but I could see why people would maybe want it.
Okay. Let me catch up with chat real quick. Backtracking to an old topic. I absolutely hate driving through Ohio. You only drove through to get to Tennessee back in 2020 rather. I try to think. I took a drive to Tennessee for a family reunion. I don't remember if we went through Ohio or not. I don't remember off the top of my head. But moving on to the current topic, Blue also said that he would love to see double battles in PvP. That would actually be fun, but it would be kind of weird to implement. So the thing about that one is they would have to change the game mechanic to allow doubles, I feel, in order for that to make sense. Not to mention, you have to choose who you're attacking, and like in terms of quick attack moves, and even with the charge moves as well. And then when it comes to shielding, does one person shield? Does both pairs shield, like charge moves? It's a lot. I'm not sure how doubles will work, but But Mason, what's your thoughts about like team play in terms of like, I don't know, like team of 3, team of 4, and then they each send one to battle each other, like Beyblade or something like that? What are your thoughts about that?
I feel like it would still be somewhat difficult to implement a little bit as well too, but I think it'd be pretty cool. I did think I always, even in the main series game, like someone mentioned as well, I've always enjoyed more of a doubles format, just need a little bit more going on at one period of time. You know, you have a little bit more strategy where you can attack different Pokemon. But I don't know how they would implement those kind of different things in Go, but I would be open for them for sure, just because I feel like it'd be a little bit more enjoyable seeing more Pokemon battling at one time, and just more going on. Like I said, that's one of the good things about Go. Is just, you know, you got fast pace, you're keeping up with the action, so having more action at one given period of time would be another benefit I think we would have. I thought about something because like I feel like we've always known Pokemon to sort of have 4 moves. I thought about the ability to have like 2 different fast moves. Where like say like with Medicham you had counter and Psycho Cut. Like on the left side of the screen you would tap and it would be counter to do, like, and say you want to do good damage, and then Psycho Cut is more of an energy generating move. So say you want to try to get to a charge move, you could start tapping on the right side and it would switch over to like where it would be that. So like how you have your charge moves on one left and right, you'd also have like left side of your screen, your tapping is your one fast move, and then the right side of the screen could be a secondary fast move. So that was something I thought about, because a lot of people talked about having 3 charge moves in terms of 4 moves, but I was like, well, what about, you know, a little bit of love to a second fast move? So I don't know if, once again, if that would ever be something they would look to implement or it would be feasible, but something else I thought would be a pretty cool idea.
Oh yeah. Actually, I think both ideas would be possible. Your idea about 2 fast moves, and then the other idea that you heard about 3 charge moves. I think both is possible. Like, yeah, it would make the battling more fun and more relatable to the main series games where, yeah, the Pokemon normally have 4 moves on them. So yeah, it would make more sense. What did the chat say? Or implement natures and special abilities like Blaze or Overgrow. And they say, yeah, 2 fast moves and 2 charge moves sound dope. Yeah. Implement natures and special abilities, huh? I feel like that's a bit more on the complicated side, Blue. I'm not sure how it would work. I can't even imagine it like mechanically going down. What are your thoughts about special abilities or natures being used in PvP?
Yeah,
Mason?
I still know, just because like despite like we have like somewhat of a complicated system, I feel like our battling isn't as complicated as like in terms of you know, what the abilities are able to like, you know, incorporate. So I feel like some like Pokemon would end up like trying to translate their abilities from the main series game would end up being really good, and then some would end up being very useless. So then it would be like a hard balancing issue on how to, you know, make the, you know, abilities that don't like translate into our game directly like useful.
Right. Yeah, it like I said, it's hard to imagine that working out mechanically wise in terms of like how would it look like, how would it operate. So yeah, I can't see that happening, not at this moment, unless, but who knows, they may be figuring something out. As far as I know, I don't know. Okay, let's see, any final thoughts on PvP? Obviously the next topic was how you got into PvP, but you kind of covered that already. But any final thoughts on PvP, like where it is right now? Anything that you like to see change? Should people get more into PvP? Like, what's your like? Any final thoughts on it?
It's not going to be for everybody, but I feel like people should always try PvP, give it a chance, see if they like it or they don't. You know, try to understand it a little bit before you give up on it right away. It can be, you know, there's actually a little bit more in-depth strategies that can happen, so people just go in there thinking that you know, they're going to be able to just, you know, win battles by tapping fast or whatever, but there's a lot of, you know, strategies that go into it. So just don't give up on it right away, and definitely give it a chance. I think it's a great aspect of this game. You spend all this time catching Pokemon, powering up Pokemon, and then you don't even use them, you know? So having, I guess you get to use them for raids still, but, you know, if you're going to play the game and catch Pokemon, why don't you turn them into a battle team and give it a chance, is what I say.
Okay. Before I get my thoughts on it, Blue said, or implement status effects like poison or burns. Now that one I could see happening, so hit me out real quick. So like obviously you got the poison move, so your opponent got hit with the poison attack. Cause normally they got debuffs and buffs and things of that nature. So for like a poison or a burn, what can happen there is you're losing health within a certain time limit. Like the status effect will last for like 10 seconds, something like that. And while you're taking attacks or fast attacks from your opponents, you're also getting hit with the statuses, so your health goes down a little bit more. What are your thoughts about that idea?
I think that's something that could be really cool as well. And I even talked about with some people, this was a cool idea I thought of. You know how we have the moves fly and dig? And in the main series game, you fly above the ground and dig, you dig down below. It'd be cool if, say you use the move fly on a CMP tie, you were able to, like, it was almost like having an extra shield. You were able to dodge the attack because you flew up in the sky. Or like if you use the move dig on a CMP tie, you dug below. And I even thought about them like implementing the move U-turn, and you can use like U-turn, and that gives you an extra switch. That gives you an extra switch. Like say your switch timer's up, and you have the move U-turn. You can use U-turn, you know, charge your bubbles, and it gives you a secondary switch into like another Pokemon. So I thought a lot about having charge moves having like a second layer potentially on certain ones, because you already have certain charge moves that debuff and buff and everything else. So why can't, you know, there be a fly which can give you an extra shield almost by, you know, forcing a CMP tie? And it won't always be easy. Like Talonflame, you know how hard it is to CMP tie with a Incinerate, but like other Pokemon potentially possible where if you know CMP tie on the fly or the dig or something like that, and it's forced, you can, you know, dodge the attack.
Right. So for those of you who don't know what CMP means, CMP stands for Charge Move Priority, which I have always been a victim of when I do PvP inside my house. I thought it was like a internet issue or a Wi-Fi issue. I can never win it in my house. That's how it feels. So I don't know. But outside of my house, oh yeah, it's great. It's great. Let me see. Or if you get paralyzed, your Pokemon starters trying to get off fast attacks.
Looks like lag. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. It looks like that. Now, the one issue, I just thought about it, that I have with status effects is Sandstorm. So the purpose of Sandstorm is to make your opponent like affect their accuracy. So I'm trying to picture how would a mechanic look for that.
So stuff like that, like accuracy and stuff, is like too like crazy, because you can't just be afford to missing charge moves. Like that'd be too like, you know, detrimental, where it's like, oh, you're just gonna randomly miss the charge. I guess it's possible, but that would just take this game to a whole new level. You did ask last thoughts on PvP. I was gonna say the one thing I would love, which obviously, you know, this game struggles with getting everything right sometimes, but just consistency with the mechanics, like where sometimes, you know, moves register and do damage, and sometimes, you know, you'll get the charge move off first, with the fast move damage registering. So it's so hard to be a consistent competitor when you don't know how the game's gonna function when you do a certain mechanic or something like that. So that's a little bit unfortunate. But go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Hey, no problem. So one idea that I had about Sandstorm or effect that affects your accuracy is like it would be more towards the, even though it's not realistic, but it'd be more towards the charge move. And if you get it all, because of accuracy, there's not much power into it. So even though you charge your bubbles up and you got the excellent maximum for your charge move, it may do like half damage or something like that.
They changed.
What's up?
Like the bubbles came at you differently because you, and then like you don't like somehow, some way, like, and it was always, I don't know if it'd be possible, but like where, you know, we can't learn it, you know, after 5 more times it comes at you a different way each time or something like that. So you would be like a little bit surprised, like and not be able to hit them all, hit all the bubbles.
Yeah, that would work. Yeah, that would work. Sandstorm, yeah, will work with that. Yeah, I like that. Let me see what that say. Or if the environment whether you're currently in affects the battles, like how rain will help some Pokemon heal up, and hail will damage the Pokemon.
The one thing that's challenging with that is you end up battling people in different locations. So on your screen it's raining, and on their screen it's sunny. So that would be like really difficult. But
So that would more work for like a local battle, like a tournament scene in person, that is, but not like, as Mason would say, like if you battling somebody and I'm in Detroit and you're in LA, nah, that's not gonna work.
That'd be
Because that's two
probably
different
something
weathers.
they can
So that's
implement
not
for
gonna work.
like I don't know, like if it I don't know if how that even works, but like if rain makes you do more damage, like you can implement that in like raids. Well, I guess they already have that, right? Your weather boosted damage is already a thing, right? So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, weather
yeah,
boosted,
so that's
party
already a thing
play,
actually, sort
and
of.
then yeah. Yeah. So the one change that I would like to make, and I had to shout out Mystic 7 for this one because he pointed this out in one of his old videos. But in other games that have PvP elements, they have obviously rank, which is what Pokemon Go have, but they also have non-rank play, which is something that Pokemon Go don't have. The closest thing to that is trainer battles, and that's not realistic. So I would like to see like a non-rank system where you just go in and you just battle against anybody, and your rank is not on the line or anything like that. It's kind of like practice to speak for rank. So what are your thoughts about that?
I'm definitely someone who gets real like also like ends up getting like pretty bored playing like same meta Pokemon overall, and so like I end up not caring about my GBL ranking or being on the leaderboards. So I get like I'm doing Spice and Tank and Elo rating. But if there was like just a for fun meta, you can run Spice in the for fun meta. And another thing is also with streaming, since I do that as well, I can't be high on the leaderboards because then I'll have too long of queue times and I can't stream. So if I wanted to climb leaderboards, I can do that off stream and then I can stream those battles, the practice battles or the for fun battles instead. And then that way I could still try to climb the leaderboards and be top 10 if I wanted to try to go for that. And while I'm streaming, I could use, those other battles on the side.
Okay, nice. Blue said, what about battlefield effects like spikes and stealth rocks that affect Pokemon when swapping out? So I guess you mean when they swapped in, more likely. That's also possible because like as soon as they swap in, they can lose some health because of the battlefield effects. So that is also possible. I don't think it's that much of a priority, but that is also possible. What are your thoughts about that?
How that would be implemented? Because like if you use stealth rocks as one of your charge moves, that's like you're giving up a damaging charge move for something that might do a little bit of damage. But I guess it could be something like once again where it does a little bit of damage, something like acid spray, where it's a small amount of damage, and then it has a secondary effect. And now when they switch, you're gonna get a little bit more damage. So it could definitely be something. I think I would like it.
Yeah, that makes it that makes it more realistic. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's about it on the PvP side.
On how I got into PvP, so like I
said, go ahead.
With this game, obviously, as everyone did, just trying to catch them all. I wanted to get one of all 151 Pokemon because it came out with Gen 1. I got into college, so actually you're gonna laugh at me, but I went to Penn State, so I'm you're talking about Michigan and Ohio State, and I'm a Penn State guy, so that's pretty funny. You got the Big Ten representation here, or at least the three most important schools. But right, so yeah, I went to college and I was loving it up there because there were so many Pokestops and stuff. But like by my junior and senior year, I was getting really busy with school and I got a little bit tired of playing the game and honestly took like a break from it. But once I was working and COVID hit, I started playing the game again. And that's when I found out PvP was a thing. And I got into it a little bit, but I got really frustrated. But I really wanted a Pika Libre. So I started learning how to get really good at the game and some of the strategies. And before I knew it, I hit number 3 on the GBL leaderboards. And that's when I was like, yo, maybe I'm actually pretty good at this game.
Oh, wow,
so
nice.
That's when I started doing Sylph tournaments and then the Play Pokemon series started. And so I just, started running with it. But, it's funny. It was still my roots of wanting to be a collector. I was like, I want that Pikachu Libre. So I'm going to get Legend. I'm going to find a way to do it. Like, I'm going to get one. And so, learning how to play the game, I ended up finding out that I was also pretty good at it and, turned into something that I now do a lot.
Okay, nice. Are you going to be competing at regionals in Indianapolis?
That should be my last regional, and then NAIC, and then obviously World in Hawaii.
Right. So I'm not sure you heard, but I'm planning on competing at Indianapolis as well.
Nice. Yeah, that should be fun. If you need any scrims or any thoughts on your team, I mean, I'll be competing as well. So I don't know if you want to give away too many secrets, but if you need any advice, feel free to hit me up.
Right. So the funny thing is, I got my scry already created, but obviously there's one more season to come out before that, so they may make some mood changes. So we have to see what that is, and more than likely they're gonna announce that this week. At the moment in time, I had no clue what the season will look like as of yet, but hopefully, yeah, more likely we're gonna learn something about it this week. So depending on what the moves are, either my team will remain the same or I may make some changes to it. So we'll see how that goes with that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. All right, so anything else that you want to talk about in PvP before we move on to the next topic?
I think that's pretty good for PvP.
Okay, so let's move on now to this month's events. So to give a recap on everything that went on this month. Now, this does not include the Sinnoh tour events. The local one, the local one nor the global one. Those are pretty obvious. And the low one, those were really good. But what I want to talk about were other events that happened this month in terms of what you thought was the best event for the month of February. And chat, obviously, I'm going to hear from you guys as well. So to recap everything that happened. So we had the Chansey Community Day event that was on February the 4th. And then after that, we had the Luna's New Year's Dragon Unleashed event. That was from February the 5th to the 11th. And then, of course, Go Battle Day was in between on February the 10th. And then the Raid Day, Hasuin Deceptui, was on February the 11th. And then we had the Carnival of Love, which was the Valentine's Day event from the 13th to the 15th. And in the middle of that, we had Enamoris Elite Raids on the 14th. And then and then we had the Road to Sinnoh event from the 19th to the 23rd. And obviously, we had the Sinnoh tours, Los Angeles and Global around that. So, Mason, what you thought was the best event in the month of February outside of the Sinnoh tour?
Outside of the Sinnoh tour, I really like the Dragon event. Anytime you get a chance to catch some dragons, I feel like they've always been considered a little bit of rare in the game. Even stuff like Dratini, it's been around for so long. When I see one on my map, I feel like I have to be like, I get excited and I have to catch it. So Dragon events speaks to me perfectly, just because like I feel like dragons are always pretty strong. There's usually some PvP relevance, some kind of aspects in general. So I really like that event. You know, it was a new Pokemon release with Drampa. It wasn't really anything too exciting, but for me, it was a pretty good event. And I really enjoyed it.
Okay, nice. So just to recap what that was, obviously Shiny Drampa and regular Drampa made their debuts in the game. The increased chance of lucky Pokemons and trades, the increased chance to become lucky friends, additional candy for successfully catching Pokemon with nice, grace, and excellent throws, not to mention increased chance to get candy XLs. And then the spawns were Magikarp, Dratini, Shuckle, Fennekin, Scrap, and Noibat. And you may even encounter Jangmo-O. And then in the raids, obviously Shiny Gumi was in tier 1 along with Dino and Dratini. 3-star raids were stacked with Druddigon, Turtonator, and Drampa. And then the field research, those Pokemon was in there as well, along with Tywant, which was not spawning in the route, and Gumi was in there as well. Oh, and Swablu, Trapinch, and regular Darmaka was in there as well. And that was pretty much it. And then, of course, there was a time research that cost $2, where you could also get Axu in that mix. Bagon was in there as well. So, yeah, not a bad choice. Looking at chat, Blue said the Lunar New Year event was the best this month besides the Sinnoh tour. Oh, okay, so the one that we're looking at right now. Okay, cool. I mean, looking at this lineup, I have to say the Lunar New Year event was the one. Mostly for me because of Shiny Drampa. Go ahead.
The Love one wasn't bad because if I remember correctly, there, at least if you're ever Stardust poor, I think there was a lot of good Stardust Pokemon like Morilol, and stuff like that. So that's always a good event. I don't think they're like in terms of like the relevance to PvP because like Morilol and those kind of Pokemon aren't that great. But if I remember correctly, there were pretty good Stardust spawns and maybe even boosted Stardust. You can get double. You got 2 XL candy per evolution as well too, which is a pretty cool bonus. So I think that was a close second for sure. I think that's the next category. But I think the 1-day events were a little bit of the bust for me this month, with the Enamoris Raid Hour being on a holiday, which Valentine's Day.
Wednesday, no less.
And yeah, Wednesday, no less. And then the Chansey Community Day, I just wasn't that exciting to me, just because I think once again, like the move wasn't really PvP relative or the Pokemon, and plus I was also busy with Knoxville Regional, so I didn't even get to focus on the event that much. So both of the 1-day events were a little bit lackluster for me. But the I think they did pretty well with the extended events, which was the Carnival Love and the Lunar New Year one.
Right. So, recapping what the Carnival Love event was, Shiny Koyo was releasing the game, and let's see, Heart Trim was available for Furfrou. You got an increased chance to get Candy XLs when walking with your buddy, and you get 2 guaranteed Candy XLs for evolving Pokemon. And then you mentioned something about a Pokemon with that was like focused on Stardust. I forgot what you said.
At least I thought there was a couple Pokemon that gave boosted Stardust per catch, but I know like Morilol, I'm pretty sure at least was one for sure. You know how Fungus and Trubbish all get boosted per catch. I thought there was a couple of those.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was pretty decent for Stardust.
So the route encounters look like this: Snubble, Skitty, Love This, Furfrou, Rubat, all the Flabébés, all the Oricoyos, depending on where you at in the world. Stufful and Craxley and Roselia. Those were the route encounters. Yeah, and they were in the field research. They had Clamper on there, Spender obviously, and yeah, that was pretty much it.
Yeah, I thought there was Morilols and stuff like that. Are the Flabébés aren't boosted, are they?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I guess I was wrong, but I still think it was a pretty decent event. I like I think Flabébé is like a decent fairy type for Master League or the Florges. And it even has some small play into other PvP meta, so it's not terrible.
Okay, nice. All right, so yeah, you said a little bit. Okay, yeah, I read that comment. All right, so let's move on from the best event to the worst event. So you basically mentioned like the 1-day event. So we had Chansey Community Day, we had something near dear to your heart, Go Battle Day. We also had Raid Day, Hisui Deceptui, and we had the Inamoris Elite Raid event. Out of those, which one would you say was the worst one?
I'm gonna say the Inamoris, really, just because once again, like you said, it was on a Wednesday. It was really hard for I was lucky I worked from home, so I left at lunch to do 1 or 2 of them. I didn't even have I had a couple of plans after work as well too. So I wasn't even able to even though they made some early times and they made late times, it was still hard to find time to try to do these raids, and just it just felt like it being a weird, I get, obviously it looks like a Valentine's Day Pokemon, so that was sort of the theme, but I wish maybe they gave us a raid day that day, and then also a second one on the weekend for people who could try to focus it that way. I mean, obviously it will come back, but I just feel like it was a little bit hard to play for.
Right. So let's see. And then looking at the Pokemon, because once you completed the raid, then Pokemon will be spawning around that gym for 30 minutes. So they had Clefairy, Jigglypuff, Snubble, Tailo, Rubat, Emoga, Rufflet, Fletchling, Spritzy, and Swirlix. And some of those do have some play in PvP. So what are your thoughts about the Pokemon that was spawning at that gym for 30 minutes?
I forgot that was even a thing, but definitely Clefable has been a little bit better in PvP, and a lot of those spawns, especially fairy types, are pretty strong. Typically those were some pretty good spawns that have happened. So that was a cool bonus. I like that bonus. I will say that was good, but like I said, people were already trying to find time to get away just to do the raids all that day, let alone have time to stay for 30 minutes and catch Pokemon, so it was a little bit tough. But I feel like people who maybe had the time to go out and play and didn't have any plans or anything, I think it maybe wasn't that bad of an event with if you had the time to play. I guess my issue was more so with just the time of the event.
All right, so just to recap, so they had 4 different hours for this raid. It was at noon, at 1 o'clock, and then they didn't do it again until 5 o'clock and ultimately 6 o'clock. So the majority, like, cause I went out after work. There was nowhere I was going out doing my shift. So I was out there from 5 o'clock to like 6:30. So, and I have no clue how I look doing that 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock hour. And I didn't even ask anybody. But I feel like more people, if they did go out, it would be doing the 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock range just to get Ethan Morris in their Pokedex. And that's pretty much it with that one.
That was my main goal, to get one. I think I only got one. Maybe I got two, but I can't remember now. But I think I might have only got one. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think I got 4. Okay. On that day. I don't remember how many I got. It's either 3 or 4. 4. Yes, I do have 4. And actually, I'm supposed to trade one to Mrs. Mime. I forgot to do it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna have to say, in terms of the worst event, the Chansey Community Day event, I'd say that's the worst one. It's mostly because they gave it an electric move, and you literally just said it still don't have any play in PvP, which I will admit is kind of a bummer, because I look at Chansey, or really Blissey, or both of them actually, as like these great defensive Pokemon, but they have very little attacks to show for it. So I felt like that was a bit of a bummer, in my opinion.
Yeah, because I think Chansey is the one that had the best chance of being PvP relevant, especially in the Great League being so tanky. But Wild Charge only found its way onto Blissey, so Blissey being a less meta relative made Wild Charge not as useful really to have. So and I at least for me, I already had, I don't know how, but I had a bunch of shiny chances already, so the shiny wasn't really exciting for me. So yeah, there was nothing really exciting. I guess like I could have tried to go for a Hundo Chansey, because you need one for Great League. That's what you do need. So like I said, I was playing Knoxville regionals and like was too busy to even try to catch many of them. But that would have been the main thing I would have went for, was the chance at a Hundo. So
right. Let me see. I have no clue how many I caught during that event, but I caught a good amount. But yeah, I have to say, yeah, that was, to me, the Chance Community Day was the worst one. But that Inamora's Elite Raid was like close second, just because of the day and the time when they were doing it. I didn't like that at all. I agree, they should have had a weekend one for it as well. But because the Shini's not in the game yet, more likely they're going to bring it back. Hopefully it's not in the middle of the day, though, and not doing another Elite Raid event. And actually, now that I think about it, we have seen some Pokemon that were originally released on an Elite Raid Day, but they brought them back as like a regular raid boss. So it's possible that this could be brought back as a regular raid boss. So that is a possibility.
Exactly. I think it will at some form. And the good thing is I don't think it's like too important to have. So getting one was, suffice pretty much anyways for now. But yeah, a little bit unfortunate that, the time it was going on.
Right. So, actually, the word is that this is one of the really good fairy attackers for raids. So that's the word about that. But in terms of PvP, yeah, I don't see it.
That's all
relevant in PvP.
That's my
at the moment. Anyway.
I guess lack of knowledge is I don't know what ends up being good raid attackers compared to PvP attackers.
Right. Okay, no problem. All right, so let's move on to the last topic of the show, and that would be March predictions. So, like I said, I have no clue what the next season looks like. I have no clue what March is looking like. But what we can do is reference what happened last year. So, switching back over here. They did the Catch Mastery event last year. We got the Festival of Colors. They did have an Elite Raid last year. And of course, Community Day last year was both Slowpoke and Galarian Slowpoke. They had the Let's Go event, another Team Go Rocket Takeover event, and of course, a Go Battle Day event. So, aside from the Go Battle Day event, because that one is more than likely given, what event or what predictions do you have that you think will come true for the month of March?
Well, I think the main thing we have going on, it's guaranteed, will be a new Go Battle League season. So yeah, new move updates potentially. I think this one might be, we've been having actually a lot of big move updates, so I think this could potentially be a smaller one. A debuff to Scald potentially. and just a couple other minor updates. But I think there's maybe a potential for, another, obviously a festival of colors is going on around that time, another event similar to that. And then maybe, I don't know, they could do something with like a St. Patrick's Day event or something like that, a green event or something like that, which would be pretty cool. I don't know if St. Patrick's Day is celebrated anywhere else outside of the U.S. or where it's celebrated. So I don't know if it would make too much of sense, but I think it'd be a cool event. Some kind of lucky event. Lucky St. Patrick's Day event, green spawns, whatever.
Right. Okay. So I'm glad you mentioned like the lucky thing. That probably would be its only saving grace, because I'll be honest, in America, when we think of St. Patrick's Day, it's normally up drinking alcohol, I feel. So I'm not sure how they feel about celebrating a holiday where we treat it as an excuse to drink. So I'm not sure how they feel about that. But you did bring up the lucky element, so that might give them a reason to do something with it. So, obviously bringing up anything that involving green, like Bulbasaur and that family, so grass type Pokemon, anything involving lucky and I guess gold coins. So maybe something involving Gimme Ghoul is a possibility.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a possibility. I like that.
That's a good idea. Gimme Ghoul, the coins.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to say we're gonna get you. I think you mentioned Festival of Colors. So yeah, I think we're gonna get that again. I also think we're gonna get another Cat's Mastery event. And without saying too much. So like I said, I have no clue what the next season holds, but based on how it is presented to those of us who are in the inside, that is, it might be something big. Maybe not for the month of March, but just for the entire season. I don't know, but I think something big might be coming based on how it's presented. Because normally it'd be like, oh yeah, here's what's going on, and then that's it. But this time around, they presented it to us in a different fashion. So I can't wait to see what that is. As far as I know, it could be a GoFest announcement. I don't know. But yeah, this upcoming season, not just the month of March, but this upcoming season could be exciting. Oh, you know what? And we also have 2 in-person events in March as well. I don't think anybody is going. I'm not going to that. But there's the Taiwan City Safari event. And then there was something in Indonesia, I believe. But just in case, were you planning on going to any one of those 2 in-person events in March?
I randomly stumbled upon them when I was clicking on the events tab in the on the like the website or whatever. But no, I won't be going to either one.
Okay, yeah. I won't be going to those either. I would be busy planning to attend a wedding in May and going to TwitchCon. So yeah, those would be my 2 main things going on in the month of March. So I won't be doing those trips. So yeah, there you go with that. All right, so let's switch back over to here, and then anything else that you want to talk about at all, whether it's PvP, whether it's the game itself, whether about yourself, because we are pretty much at the final stretch of the show. So anything that you want to talk about at all?
No, I mean, I'm just glad people had a great, it seems like a lot of people in the chat and just everybody had a pretty good Sinnoh event. I think it was a pretty good event. Glad people are hopefully more interested in PvP and definitely trying to take a chance to get more involved in PvP, and hopefully I could maybe inspired some people to give it a shot again. And yeah, if you ever do want to watch PvP, you can always catch me on my stream, twitch.tv/MagicMayson. Yeah, just thanks for having me on here. I had a really good time discussing this game. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was just about to say, yes, MagicMayson is available at twitch.tv/MagicMayson. MagicMayson, I can't talk again. And you're actually the second PvP person I had on here. The first one, I'm not sure you know him, Lord Drew 360.
Yes.
You know of him? Okay. Okay, cool. So yeah, I had him on. I don't remember how long ago it was. He actually competed at his first regional in Toronto, because that's where he's from. And he actually got on the main stage, so he was actually on the live stream. So we watched that moment. And also at that same tournament, which is, this was in October, and I remember. I was thinking about going, but the next month was the City Safari of Mexico City. I was going to that. So that's why I didn't go to Toronto. But I'm not sure you know this guy, the cruise ship. You know him?
Me and him.
Yeah. So he competed there as well. So yeah, but he didn't do so well. He didn't. So I just find that funny. But yeah, hopefully I can do better than the cruise ship in Indianapolis. So that's what I have to say about that.
Well, hopefully I'll be there as well too. So hopefully we'll be able to reconnect again. But definitely looking forward to see how you end up performing.
Right. Yeah, that's going to be fun. So shout out to MagicMayson. Thank you for showing up to this month's edition of the Tru Inferno Show. Hopefully you had a blast on the show, man.
I had a great time. Thank you so much for having me on here. It was a lot of fun. Definitely, I think it was a good time to come on too because there was a lot to talk about with the game.
All right, nice. So just to remind everybody, let me switch over here real quick. So he is available on Twitch, twitch.tv. Where's my button? Twitch.tv/MagicMayson. So yes, his information is right there. He's also on Twitter, aka X, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, twitter.com/MagicMayson. So yeah, go ahead, check him out on Twitch, check him out on Twitter, and more than likely you will see him on Pokemon Go's official Twitter as well, competing at regionals. Are you competing at, I'm assuming you compete at international. You say you compete at internationals, right? Yes. So yeah, tune in to Pokemon Go's official Twitter to see him compete there. And he's going to be at Worlds. I will be at Worlds as well. Not necessarily competing, but I would be at Worlds myself. So there you go with that. So yeah, make sure to check out MagicMayson. So yeah, again, thank you for showing up on the show. And the next episode of the Tru Inferno Show will happen obviously next month. It would be on, it will either be on the 31st, which is the actual last day of the month, or the 24th. Depending on what's going on that month with Pokemon Go. So more likely though, it would be on the 31st. And I would try to have another guest on. So yes, again, shout out to MagicMayson for showing up on the show and talking to us about Pokemon Go and PvP related topics and things of that nature. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tru Inferno, and I'm going to call it a wrap. So with all that said, y'all know who this is. This is boy New J Gatsby, aka New Steve Nate Smith, saying peace out. Ooh, I can't talk. Excuse me. Saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah.
Go Penn State.